Meh. Meh, meh. 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 Meh, meh. Meh.
Just listen to what my man gotta say. That's all. Just listen.
So you're in Genesis chapter 1. It says, God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. So this is creation. What happened is that there was water, and God put a firmament between it. You see that dome? I'm going to explain to you what that is through Scripture. That is the firmament. And everything is within the firmament, not out in the universe. Let me prove that to you. And it said in verse 7, God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. So you see that there's waters which we have under the firmament, sea, land, that's under the firmament. Then there's waters also above. Keep that in mind. Above this firmament. What does firmament mean? Well, firmament, the first word firma, actually just means solid, and ment is just the end of a noun. So it just means solid thing. If you look in Ezekiel chapter 10, in verse 1, it says, Then I looked, and behold, in the firmament that was above the head of the cherubims, there appeared over them, as it were, a sapphire stone, as the appearance of the likeness of a throne. So above the cherubims is God's throne. And there's a firmament above them. And it says, as it were, a sapphire stone, the appearance and the likeness of a throne. I believe that to be describing the throne itself, not the firmament. There's a firmament above the head of the cherubims where God's throne is. Where God's throne is, it's describing a firmament under him. You see that? The firmament is under it. So I'm going to show you what a firmament actually is. Job 37, verse 18. It says, Hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong and as molten looking glass. So the firmament is glass. It's as molten looking glass. The firmament was under the throne, that sea of glass, and it is also what divides the waters from the waters. Revelation chapter 4, look in verse 6. And before the throne there was a sea of glass, like unto crystal. And in the midst of the throne, round about the throne, were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. So what is the firmament? It's a sea of glass. It is described by the Bible. The word itself actually does mean solid thing, but according to God's word, it's a sea of glass. And that actually makes sense when you look at Genesis chapter 1. You need something that is hard to divide water from water. So I'm telling you that the firmament is what divides the waters from the waters, and it is essentially like a circular disc, is what the earth is, with a dome on top of it. And this dome is glass. Maybe not what we think of as glass, but God created a solid thing.
Creo que
I think that
esto es muy difícil. Suscribo a la idea de la teoría de que la Tierra es plana.
Gainesville, Florida. I find this little place with a Mason symbol and stuff on it, right? And then we come over here. And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this a flat Earth map? I'm just asking questions like, what is that? Do we know what we're looking at here?
Babe, they'll never put anything like this on the news. They have been brainwashing us since the day you set foot in a nursery. Everything NASA has put out to us is completely bullshit. It's all CGI images. NASA's bollocks. But they help the custodians brainwash us. The marble wasn't a thing. All maps showed a flat Earth. We are all slaves to the custodians. There's no such thing as outer space. We are trapped in a dome, surrounded by an ice wall.
I don't care what y'all say. The moon and the sun is not supposed to be in the sky showing their faces at the exact same time. But y'all don't listen. Y'all just don't listen. It says it right there in the holy text, firmament. It don't say shit about a globe, a spear, or a ball, or nothing like that. It says firmament. The evidence is right there in our face, and you still deny it. I don't know what to tell y'all. So let me ask y'all this. If the moon and the sun are showing during the daytime, what is night?
See this right here? It says, "Where art thou, O great mountain, before Zerubbabel brought down to a plain?" This is where we take the globe and stomp on it. A plain. It's flat.
Anybody who thinks that Elon Musk is on our side clearly does not have eyes to see. Look at his costume for Halloween. It's the Baphomet. Own it. Come on, y'all. Watch this.
On an edit button for a year. Well, it's a tricky situation. And it's incredibly complex. That's a good one, indeed. I mean, we don't even have an app that's as good as WeChat in China. Like in China, you can live on WeChat, basically. Yeah, it's like, yeah, everyone's like, like you live on WeChat, you do payments, you do everything. It's like, yup, it's great. Basically, WeChat just kick ass. And we don't have anything like WeChat outside of China. So I was like, my idea would be like, how about if we just copy WeChat?
His mom's in the Illuminati. He's a WEF puppet. And he thinks the social credit score is a good thing. He is not on our side.
I just have a hard time trusting anybody who genuinely believes that NASA deflected an asteroid the size of the Pyramid of Giza with a rocket the size of a refrigerator. Get the entirety of the fuck out of here. I'm sorry.
Undeniable evidence that we do live under a dome or the firmament. Now, first of all, why is it that every single ancient culture and society all depicted the dome and the flat earth? Even the Masons did that. Here's us. Here's the Egyptians' depiction. The blue sky, the firmament, and the stars on the firmament. Here's the Hebrew, and I want you to take note of this. Waters above the firmament. Here's a real close-up of the stars. This is what a real close-up of stars look like under a Nikon 9000, the most powerful camera in the world. Does that look familiar to you? Waters above the firmament? Quotes in the Bible about the firmament. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were on top of the firmament. Genesis 1:7. Why is it when you put a camera at the North Star, they always do perfect circles? If we're really doing this, then you should see the stars do all sorts of crazy patterns, not perfect circles. That's because the stars are moving and we are stationary. Look how capped this shit is. Where's the stars? I got so much more evidence. If you want a part 2, let me know. And I'm going to tell you in the comments what the elites benefit from keeping this a secret. Peace. This is why people believe in the flat earth theory. Now, I'm not here to tell you what I believe in because it really doesn't matter, but I'm just here to tell you that I've done my own research and I'm just going to present you with the evidence that I've found myself. Now, it's pretty interesting to note that every ancient society depicted a flat landmass with a dome going over it. And here's NASA's depiction, and I guess the stars weren't out that day. Now this is the Hebrew depiction of the earth, and as you can see, there's a Bible quote here. He placed the earth firmly on its foundations. It cannot be moved forever and ever, and you can see the firmament and the waters above the earth. So interesting stuff. Now here's another quote from the Bible. And I ain't biblical, but we all know about the truth in plain sight. And then God said, let the firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. This is an ancient flat earth map. And this is at the George Bush Airport, flat earth map. So 30 miles out should be 10 feet below the curvature of the earth. Now you would think this boat and this buoy should be below the curvature of the earth from this far away, but I mean, it's interesting stuff, guys. Absolute proof that we do live under the dome or the firmament. Alright, this was the only unofficial launch to space. Unofficial team tried to launch a, obviously, rocket to space, and what does it hit here? What just stopped it? Here's some more predictive programming for you.
Going back, and the ball shatters the sky.
Think about it. And this is from the Simpsons movie, as we all know, the truth is always in plain sight. And these are official images from NASA, official guys, one from 2012, one from 2015. Do you notice any difference in the size of the United States of America? Like, Use your fucking heads. This is Admiral Byrd. He was the last one to explore Antarctica. Shortly after Antarctica decided to have a treaty, this is the only place on Earth that every country decides that we can't go visit. This is because he found the edge of the dome. Shortly after, the United States launched something called Operation Fishbowl. Yes, Fishbowl. Listen to that. They started launching nukes straight up at the dome. Look at it. It's exploding out on something. This is a bomb exploding up. It's exploding out. Proof that pretty much everything NASA puts out is CGI Photoshop.
Water. Those are the pieces, but you can't just slap them all together.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat, or the clouds are sort of too see-through, so I just hit Command Z a lot.
Notice how he said I just hit Command Z a lot? That's what this looks like. Just copy and pasting. All this copy and pasting that's going on. He literally admitted to this. This is all Photoshop. He actually admits that it is Photoshop. I'll play it right now.
It is Photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is Photoshopped, but it's has to be.
This is all CGI Photoshop. NASA even admits that we can't even take a picture of Earth because we can't get far enough away. We can land a rover on Mars, but we can't take a picture of the Earth. Think about it. The truth is you've been indoctrinated and undereducated, brainwashed by the education system, by the mainstream media and social media your whole entire lives to keep you on this conveyor belt and not question anything. Free your mind and take back your power. Everything is a lie. Someone needs to explain this to me. Why is it when you point a camera at the North Star, the stars always do perfect circles? Why is that? If we're really doing this, you should see the stars do all sorts of crazy patterns, not perfect circles. Someone explain this to me. Pretty sure you've been lied to by these Freemason clowns your whole entire life. Go ahead and prove me wrong. Peace and love. If we are really living on a round ball planet, then please answer me this. Why is it that water always finds its level? I mean, no matter what you do to it, no matter what circumstance it's in, it's always going to find its level. And I can already hear all the science people like, oh my God, it's gravity. You know that thing that's strong enough to hold trillions of liters of ocean down to a spinning baller, but just weak enough to let a dragonfly or a butterfly fly gracefully through the air? Even the king himself, Nikola Tesla, knew that gravity was bullshit. He knew that Earth is a realm and not a planet. He also goes on to say that electromagnetic levitation disproves gravity because the only force you need to counter is the electromagnetic force, not gravity. And he also says that the stars are attached to the firmament, and take note of that. Now, I know all the science people are going to come in here with all their terms and their science that they were literally conditioned with by the globalist elites that own all of the education systems in the world. You know, the same people that own all the governments, the media, the corporations, they control all the financial institutions within the world, except for Russia. Surprise, surprise. This is no longer a conspiracy theory. This is known fact. And my point is you have been lied to your whole entire life about everything. Remember, knowledge is power. The more knowledge you hold over the population, the more power you hold over the population. Now, why would they lie about this? It's because they are trying to hide God, the real God. Now, every single ancient culture and society depicted the firmament and the flat earth. From the Egyptians, look at the stars on the firmament. The Hebrew, the Mayans, the Sumerians, even the Freemasons, the ones that are controlling everything. There's a reason why the sky is blue, as above, so below. Water's above the firmament. Check this clip out.
Steroid Santa Claus kicks and deals. It's a long fly ball going back. And the ball shatters the sky, bringing the ocean itself down into...
That clip is showing you the truth in plain sight. Just like the United Nations flag, it's literally a flat earth map. Same thing. This is at the George W. Bush Airport. Flat earth map, tree of life in the middle, dome over the top. Now check this Hillary Clinton clip out.
Although we weren't able to shatter that hardest glass ceiling this time, thanks to you, it's got about 18 million cracks in it.
Once again, they're telling you the truth straight up in plain sight. Now this is what a real close-up of stars look like. What does this look like? Waters above the firmament. And remember, the stars are on the firmament. And all throughout the Bible, there's reference to the firmament. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. Genesis 1:7. The truth is always in plain sight. God made this unique design of this realm for us. We are all unique in our own ways. We are not insignificant like they would let us to believe. We are powerful together and not separate. And it's time to wake up. Peace and love.
you.